everyone. I was just working on my fiction story and I wanted to share some of it with you. I started writing a little bit of my beginning and I remembered I want to write some of my beginning with you. So I'm going to start by just starting from where, reading to you where I started, which was I chose my setting lead. So I'm just going to read it. I always read everything I have so far to catch me up so that I can add to it. It was a beautiful day at Sunshine Beach. Pete was ready to catch a wave. The waves were crashing and the sun was shining. This looked like the perfect day for a good surf. That's my lead. And then I started my beginning. Now remember, the beginning is where you're going to put your setting, your characters, and start your problem. So here's what I have so far. When Pete arrived at the beach, and here I told you exactly where my setting was, he was eager to go surfing. Pete loved surfing, especially with his friend Gus. Luckily for Pete, Gus just arrived. "Hey Gus," said Pete. So this is where I stopped, and I'm going to keep going, but I wanted to just point out that I added some dialogue. When you add dialogue to your writing, it makes it more interesting and it makes it more exciting for the reader to read. It really brings your story to life. They can start visualizing the two characters talking to each other. So I would try, if you could, to add a little talking into your story today or into your beginning. All right, so "Hey Gus," said Pete. They just met. So what can Gus say back? Or what else can Pete say to Gus? So Pete just said, "Hey Gus," and now he's going to ask him if he brought his surfboard. "Did you bring your surfboard today?" Question mark. And I have to have my quotes around my dialogue. And I have to have a question mark there because he's asking a question. Asked Pete. Now Gus is going to answer him back. So I like to have my characters, if one asks a question, I want the other character to answer it. And Gus definitely brought his surfboard. "Yes, I have it. I also have my new super cool shades with me." I'm going to say explained Gus. I don't always like to use said for after every single piece of dialogue. So since he was explaining that he had his new shades, I'll say explained Gus. Okay, so as we know for my story, the problem was that Pete forgot his sunglasses. So now that Gus explained that he brought his new super cool shades, this is where I'm gonna start my problem. Pete just remembered that he forgot his sunglasses. Whoops. Sometimes we make mistakes and we have to fix them. His sunglasses at home. And that's all I have to do today because I introduced my characters, I told you my setting, and I started my problem. My problem was that Pete forgot his sunglasses, and I just told you that. So that's where I'm going to stop today. So let me just read over what I have so we can see if it all makes sense. I always like to read it over and check. When Pete arrived at the beach, he was eager to go surfing. Pete loves surfing, especially with his friend Gus. Lucky for Pete, Gus just arrived. "Hey Gus," said Pete. "Did you bring your surfboard today?" asked Pete. "Yes, I have it. I also have my new super cool shades with me," explained Gus. Pete just remembered that he forgot his sunglasses at home.